I love to smoke. Stepping outside in the open air, the smell of the sweet tobacco, the flick of the lighter, the first airy, euphoric inhalation. The exhale, slow, intentional, where I can release all of my worries, concerns, and fears. Smoking, it's kind of like my best friend. We've had some of the best times together, and it's supported me through some of my worst. But I can't be a smoker. We all know the detrimental side effects of smoking. And more importantly, I practice traditional Chinese medicine, and my clinic focuses on elevating patients to their highest health potential through lifestyle modification and education. I need to walk my talk. I decided I needed to find a solution. So I went to a meditation retreat. Now, this was no retreat. There was no yoga, no massages, no lemon in my water, and worst of all, there was no talking. I had to sit through my silent suffering for 10 days. This was Buddha boot camp. Through the only available voice of my teacher, I did learn many things. One of the things that he talked about was about addiction. And what he said was, addiction is not about the substance. Addiction is about the feeling that that substance evokes in the body. That's it. That's when I had my aha moment. I realized I wasn't addicted to the nicotine. Smoking is essentially just breathing. And breathing is what triggers relaxation. My mind becomes quiet. I get to take a moment to just check out for what I'm doing, and more importantly, I get to check in with how I'm feeling. I had an excuse to do nothing but to just be. My true addiction was about the moments that I give myself permission to just take a break, breathe, and just be. Implementing this into my everyday life is ultimately easier said than done. Quitting smoking also meant quitting my breaks. None of us have time for a break. We're much too busy. I saw this as a common trait, not only myself, but in my patients. I get it. I am my worst enemy. I am type A. I do not know how to say no, and honestly, I'm fueled by my desire to try to juggle it all. It feels great. This idea is also built in our cultural messaging, that our self-worth and our value is based on how stressed we are and how much we are doing. Oh, how are you? Oh my God, I'm so busy. I'm slammed, can't catch a break. Business has now just become busyness. We are in a constant state of mass distraction. We live in extremes. We go from no exercise to extreme exercise and injury, from poor eating to orthorexia and the obsession on clean eating. There's no moderation, no balance, no middle ground. This idea is making us sick, leading to burnout, and keeping us in a state of sympathetic overdrive. Stress is managed in our autonomic nervous system. We're either in our dolphin mode, rest and relax, play mode, parasympathetic, or our shark mode, fight or flight, sympathetic. You're swimming in the ocean, and suddenly you see a shark. Your eyes constrict, your heart rate and your blood pressure rise, your blood moves to your muscles to give you extra human strength where you can either fight that shark or swim away, and suddenly you just realize it's a dolphin. Your breath deepens, your heart rate and your blood pressure lowers. Your blood moves back to your organs where you can now digest your experience. You see, breathing is a light switch. It takes you from shark mode to dolphin. Most of us, however, live in shark mode of hypervigilance. Imagine constantly trying to swim away from that shark. How long are you going to last? At what point are you going to burn out? What are you really swimming from? We are forced further from just being aware of our biological needs, our well-being, our emotions. We don't have a clear idea of our purpose. We're setting the same example for our children. They're overscheduled with high levels of expectations to compete in the modern world with little awareness on how to manage themselves emotionally. We've all been there, ignoring our needs for a bio break, food, and just rest. So, how am I going to do this? Knowing that my personality and our cultural messaging drives me to overburden myself, I needed to juggle being a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur, healthcare provider, and just being me. I had already led myself to burnout once, and I just wasn't willing to go there again. I listened to self-care lectures, and all of them told me the same thing. Take more time for myself, wake up earlier, meditate, exercise, learn to say no, and just relax. And honestly, this just made me more stressed out. You have a cigarette? Oh, wait. Smoking is just the habit of breathing and breaking. Let's dive into this a little deeper. First thing that smokers do when they wake up is they step outside with their coffee and cigarette. Within 2 hours at work, they'll take their first break. Stepping outside, smoke a cigarette. When they come back, they take a bio break, wash their hands, drink some water, eat a snack. Smokers, they always eat lunch and never eat at their desk because there's nothing better than a cigarette after eating. They'll take another smoking break in a few hours. And on their drive home, they'll light up once more so that they can be unwound from their stressful day the moment that they reach their door. What if we just continued the smoking habit, but replaced it with breathing? I know this is a difficult notion, especially after all these years of judging your smoking coworkers for being lazy, unproductive, and non-resilient. You're rolling your eyes at them for that person for taking their earned and mandatory break. But are they really less productive than you? In the ancient wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine, they've identified a Chinese circadian clock. And what they say is that the qi, or energy, moves through each organ every 2 hours. In modern chronobiology, they've identified ultradian rhythms. They say that our bodies go through significant energy and focus that can only be sustained for 90 to 120 minutes, and is then followed by a need for rest. During that rest time, if you continue to try to work, your body has to fight against its natural rhythms, which is incredibly inefficient. Our physiological systems of hormones, blood sugar regulation, detoxification cycle. By aligning to that rhythm, we work more optimally by respecting our biological needs. Ignoring this leads to imbalanced blood sugar, weight gain, high stress levels, insomnia, hormonal imbalance, depression, and anxiety. Researcher Anders Ericsson has studied high performers in various fields. It's well recognized that they all achieve their best by working optimally in increments of 90 to 120 minutes, and then allowing themselves to rest. So, there seems to be some value in this smoking habit after all. I'm not going back to smoking, I promise. But is it possible for us to let go of our egos, put down our stress badge of honor, to truly support our biological and emotional needs, to optimize performance without the sacrifice of our bodies? What if we can just embrace the break? Let's replace the smoking, vaping, phoning, eating, working addiction with breathing and checking in breaks. What would your day look like then? You wake up in the morning to stretch and breathe. You sit and eat breakfast with your coffee. After the first 2 hours of work, completing your most urgent and high-focused tasks, you then take a break. Breathe, notice your needs, and then support them. A few hours later, get this, you actually take lunch away from your desk, and you leave your phone. Hard to do, right? Within another 2 hours of work, you start to feel fatigued during your low cortisol time of day. So you step outside, get some fresh air, take a walk around the block. On your way home, you're driving and breathing, and with each exhale, you're releasing your tensions from the day, so that when you get to the door, you'll be ready to greet your loving family. Now, I'm not asking for much. It's just time, a moment to just check in with your breath and how you're feeling. Can you do that with me now? Can you notice how you're breathing? Can you shift that and with me take a long diaphragmatic breath? And then just release it all. Gentle exhale. One more time. Now that didn't take long, did it? How do you feel? So I'm asking you, do yourself a favor. Pick up breathing. It's free. It's a requirement for life. And a habit you'll never have to break. Thank you.